Alright, time for some more Buddyfight news as we watch day 3 of Nintendo's E3.
Woo!
Lots of new stuff still coming out for it.
This has just been news week. Like, Vanguard news dropped, Buddyfight news dropped, and E3's going on. It's crazy.
They're showing off another game for the 3DS, and they're going to show Project Steam, which is another franchise that Nintendo is starting up.
I remember I brought that up with somebody, and they thought it was the Steam console that Nintendo somehow got involved in.
Yeah, that's what they did.
And I was like, no, that's not what it is. But yeah.
And apparently we also saw some brief footage of the new Star Fox. Very brief, but it was there. And Star Fox has a helicopter now.
Get to the chopper!
So, but anyway, that's not why we're here.
We're here to talk about Buddyfight news and Extra Booster 3 and Trial Deck 4.
Yeah.
Possibly Trial Deck 5. I don't know, actually. I just have a giant list of cards.
This new game just looks adorable. I'm sorry, we're watching it. We're watching it while we do this because I'm not going to miss this stuff just for.
We missed Mega Sableye for tacos yesterday.
We missed Mega Sableye due to tacos. He's got a giant ass gem shield.
Quick news on that. But yeah, I'll get started reading off some of these new cards. Monster Staff, Alrelte. 0 power, 0 crit, it's an item, and at first that sounds really dumb, because you have to pay 2 gauge to equip it too, but then this is its thing. Counter. You may rest this card, and if you do, choose a dungeon enemy in battle, and for that battle, give it plus 2,000 power, plus 2,000 defense, and counterattack. So, it's a continuous Draco energy with 2 less power.
That's funny.
Wait, no, 1 less power.
Yeah, 1 less power. That's interesting. You said it's an item?
Yeah, it's an item, so you keep it.
Oh, I guess that could work if you run the more defensive build. They have like a Inferno Cop like clone,
oh yeah.
Right? They also have that giant demon dude.
They have a couple really big guys that we will be getting to.
And so yeah, I could see that working.
All right. Oh, here's that Inferno Cop guy right now. Guardian Dragon of Ruins Meteor Rain. He is a size 3 dungeon enemy monster from Dungeon World. 10,000 power, 3 crit, and 4 defense. So he's not very defensive, but he's huge.
Well, with the power of that thing, since it's a counter speed, you can do it during your opponent's turn. So he's got 6 defense.
Yep.
It's better than nothing. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, his call cost is pay 2 gauge, put the top 2 cards of your deck into this card's soul. Counteract, you may discard 2 dungeon enemy cards from your hand. If you destroy an opponent's monster on the field. So it's not exactly Inferno Cop, but it's close, because he also gets Penetrate, Soul Guard, and his lifelink is 3.
That's cool. I really like how the Dungeon World's lifelink monsters act. They actually seem more reasonable with the lifelink than the Ancient World does.
Ancient World needs help. I like the concept of Ancient World, but it hasn't been executed very well right yet.
Yeah, like it has a plan. It's just being hard countered by not 1 but 2 worlds when there's only like 5 worlds that see heavy use. It's kind of a downer.
We have a new Jackknife card too.
Oh boy.
Jackknife High Shante.
Shante?
It's S-H-T-A-N-T. Shant.
Okay. Why don't you show M? Why aren't you showing people pictures?
Alright, let me get his picture up. As soon as it loads. Very tiny right now since these are magazine scans.
Bistant.
Oh, somebody translated it wrong on the page I was looking at. Bistant. Okay. But yeah, his thing is that you pay 2 gauge, put this card on top of a monster on the field with Jackknife in its name. When this card enters the field, search the top of your deck for a card with Dragon Shield in its card name and put it into your hand, and it also has Soul Guard. So it's basically, if you need to go defensive for like a little bit, this is the Jackknife to ride.
Looks like this game lets you catch monsters and take them with you in a crate.
That's adorable.
Sorry, we can continue.
But yeah, he's 6'2", so that's pretty good. But yeah, he's basically the defensive Jackknife. Legendary Brave Tasku, we have his stats now. He
does not play by the rules no matter what world he's in.
he's also a double rare. We have that confirmed.
Okay.
He's a size 1 monster, adventurer, hero, dungeon world. 5/5. Pay 2 gauge. When this card link attacks with another adventurer, choose one card that link attacks, and this card for that turn gets penetrate. At the end of this turn, put this card into the drop zone. So he kills himself at the end of the turn. Yeah, for 2 gauge. I don't really know if I like him.
I don't know, but then I'm not a jackknife player, so.
Well, no, he's a dungeon world guy.
I'm sorry, I was watching the game again, so I lost track.
That's okay.
This game is looking really good. I wish they gave us the name again, but they'll probably do it at the end.
We also have Tetsuya's skill. He's another double rare. He is a size 2, 2/1/2. When this card link attacks with another adventurer, choose the card that link attacks, and for that turn, give it double attack. This may only be used once per turn. I like that way better.
Yes, I like that too.
It's like, as long as you have another Brave with you that has really high powers.
Does it have a picture?
We already have seen Dancing Tetsuya, but I will put him up again. Maybe
like,
we'll have
stats and junk on it.
Oh yeah, he's a 1/2/1.
Okay.
Here's a picture.
We'll say like card junk, you know, it matters.
Yeah. He's also getting his own sleeves. So you too can have Tetsuya banana sleeves. We have a Katana World card. This one's a size 3. Powerful family ninja Momochi Tanba.
Bamori.
He is in Trial Deck 5. He is a size 3, 6/7, so 6 power, 2 crit, 7 defense, pay 2 gauge. When this card enters the field, gain 1 life, and he has double attack. Yeah, he's kind of a nice little guy. Well, not really little, size 3. Moving on. We also have more Thunder Knights. We got a lot of Thunder Knight news, actually, when I look back on this. Oh, and we don't have a picture for the ninja, sadly. I wanted to see if we had one.
He dishonored my family!
We have Thunder Knight's Broadsword Dragon. He's a size 1, 5 power, 2 crit, 3 defense. This card cannot be called to the center.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah. Still kind of nice.
It's a Thunder Knight, so, you know, the other ones will do it for him.
Yeah, they all move instead of him. And then we have Dragon Slaying Sword Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slaying Sword Dragon Slayer?
Yep, it's Dragon Slaying Sword.
Dragon Slayer.
Yes. It is a Dungeon World Adventurer item. 4 power, 3 crit, pay 2 gauge. When this card attacks a card with dragon in its attribute, for that turn it gets plus 4,000. So any dragon it goes against, it goes to power of 8.
Wow, they really don't want Dragon World to be unchecked now.
Yeah, I think they realized it was wrong.
Doing their job finally.
Yeah, so any dragon becomes an 8.
Wait, and it becomes an 8?
It gets plus 4.
Against?
Yeah, against them.
Jeez, backtracking on your words there.
Sorry, yeah. But still, and it has 3 crit, which is pretty great. Thunder Knight's Buster Sword Dragon. This is different from Broadsword Dragon. He is a double rare. He is a size 3 armor dragon. 7 power, 2 crit, 6 defense. Pay 2 gauge. It gets penetrate and move. So just a simple little size 3. Alright. We have another Dungeon World enemy. He's a monster. One-eyed Demon Lord Keith Wanded.
Sorry. Apparently you can customize how your character looks, like down to their armor, any bit of armor, like their body armor, their hand armor, or shoulder armor.
What's the name of this game?
I'm trying to find out, but
I want it.
You can even put things like glasses and junk on them.
I want it.
Continue.
But yeah, he is a size 2 monster, 5/5, pay 1 gauge. If this card would be destroyed, if it is on the left or the right, you may discard 1 dungeon enemy from your hand. If you do, this card remains on the field. He has Penetrate and Lifelink 2. It's kind of interesting. I like it. Also, this is one of my new favorite cards. You the Man!
Fantasy Life. That's what the name is called.
I want it. Especially since it's a 3DS game. But yeah, You the Man.
You the Man.
It is the wizard version of Draco Energy. Which is funny, because it sounds like it's a 72 Pillars card.
It does, because it sounds like it's trying to be hip with the crowd.
We also have Gotcha!
Gotcha.
Gotcha is a pay 2 gauge. You can only cast this if you have 5 life or less. If you do, during your turn, or the next time you pay gauge for a monster on your field, you may use the gauge from your opponent's gauge. So, that's kind of a silly card. I like it. Another Thunder Knight. We have Thunder Knight Iron Fist Dragon. He's a size 1, 2, 2, 3. If you have a card with Thunder Knight in its name on the field, this card gets move.
Alright. I'm liking that Thunder Knights are getting stuff, finally.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. Because now we have, this is the 4th archetype for Dragon World?
I don't freaking know.
Because we have Jackknife, Armor Knight, Thunder Knight, and...
Well, Armored Dragons are technically a, race.
Yeah. Oh well. It's, basically the 4th faction. Because they all count as Armor Knights too, actually.
Dragons, Armored Knights are Danger World.
Too many things use the same word. Okay, so anyway, here's another card from Trial Deck 4. Spell card Party Formation. Wait, no, Party Formed.
Party Form.
It is a spell, it's a set spell. When you put another card with mission in its name on the field, you gain 1 life, search your deck for an adventurer from your deck, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck, and then put this card into the drop zone. So you basically set it until you get another mission card, and then you can find a dude.
Sounds reasonable.
Alright. And then we have Baku's stuff. He also comes in the trial deck. He's a size 2 monster, 4/2/3. What?
I figured he would. He's kind of a person who's in the show.
Good point. But yeah, 4/2/3. When this card link attacks with another adventurer, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. So that's kind of nice.
He was if I recall, important when people were talking about building the adventurers. Because they are gauge dependent.
Yeah, I like it. And then we have Dragon Wizard Magician Drum. Size 2, 5/2/2. If you guys all remember, he's pay 1 gauge to bring him out. And then his skill. If you have 5 life or less, pay 6 gauge. If you do, destroy all monsters on your opponent's field and deal 4 damage. So he's his own impact. Except it's a total of 7 gauge!
Yeah, have fun. You'll need it.
Oh yeah. And somebody said that Gotcha just became hilarious because of Dragon Wizard Drum. Because that means you can use your opponent's gauge to help you do it.
That is true. Probably made for that specific purpose.
Yep. So, to me, that's really funny, actually.
Magic World, huh?
Yep.
Like I said, for those who are complaining that Dungeon World is anti-Danger World, don't worry. So is Magic World.
They're both anti-Danger.
Because stealing your gauge to use their own stuff, kind of dumb.
Yep. We have another Thunder Knight. Thunder Knight Leader. Commander spelled with a K. Farn.
Oh, he's speaking combat ease. Don't run, he's gonna decapitate someone.
He's a size 2 monster, 5/2/5. When all cards with Thunder Knight in their name get +1 crit and move. His call cost is 1 gauge. So that's interesting. My question is, what happens with the dude who says he can't be in the center if he gets move? Can you still put him in the center?
Well, if he can't, if it says he can't be called to the center, then no, then yeah, you can do it. If he just can't be in the center, period, well, then you answer your own question.
I want to see if I can find
really
that.
Just comes. It's a matter of
yeah.
words.
It says this card cannot be called to the center. So yes, that card
then
can
he can be moved to the center. It just can't be called to the center.
All right. We have another spell for Thunder Knights. Thunder Knight Formation. It's a rare. It's a set spell. During your opponent's turn, when a card with Thunder Knights is called, when a card with Thunder Knights in its card name is called to your field moves, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. During your final phase, you may pay 4 gauge. If you do, destroy all monsters on your field, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, call 3 cards with Thunder Knights among them by paying their call cost, and proceed to your attack phase. So you get a second turn by destroying all of your monsters, paying 4 gauge, and hoping that the top 3 cards are Dragon Knights.
That sounds ballsy.
Yeah, it is ballsy.
I am afraid of that one. Like, I keep work at work, so I keep Dungeon World and Dungeon World. This sounds a bit spoopy for me. I don't want to just kind of put it all on, just hope I get monsters to play, otherwise I have to use my hand again.
Yeah.
But then again, you do an extra set of attacks, which is always neat.
Yeah, and if you don't want to use its big impact thing, you can always use its first effect, which is just whenever a Thunder Knight moves, you can add 1 gauge. So that's kind of nice. We have another Thunder Knight Battle Axe Dragon, size 2, 5 G's, 4 crit. Yeah, and he's pay 2 gauge. He is a rare.
Oh, wow.
Triple rare for the set. Dungeon World triple rare. Demon Lord Gargnair.
Gargnair. Got a picture of this time, man?
I am getting the picture. The second I read that name, I was like, we gotta look at this.
Because you have not had a lot of pictures to show.
I'm sorry. They're all very tiny magazine scans.
I see. Gargnair.
Yeah, Gargnair. As you might have seen, he is a 9/4/6. Pay 2 gauge, Dark Vortex. When this card is destroyed, return all of your gauge to the deck, shuffle the deck, pull 3 cards from the top of your deck, and put them into the gauge. His lifelink is 2. So if you only have 1 gauge, he gives you 3 gauge.
I can dig it.
Alright.
Keep going.
Next on the list, we have Thunder Knight, main. Oh, I think I already talked about main. Yeah, he's the one that he's he's a size 1, 4/1/4. If you have a card with Thunder Knight in its name, it gets moved. Another one on the field, I mean. We have Demon Lord Joker Gunwald. Let's see if I have a picture of him. Let's see. Loading the picture. Because that's a funny name. Oh, it's in black and white, but we at least have it. He has giant, cute horns.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah. But anyway, he is a size 2, 5/2/5. Call cost 1 gauge and put the top card of your deck into his soul, and he gets Soul Guard. So he's basically Drum Bunker Dragon, but with 1 less crit. And for Dungeon World. And then we have Burning Lance Dragon. He's a size 1, 3/3/4, so 3 power, 3 crit, and 4 defense, and pay 2 gauge. So that's just a random Armor Knight Dragon. As if they needed more. Dragon Knight Witham, another
Witham?
Yeah.
Well, show me this thing.
Let's look at him. Let's see if I have a picture first. Whitman, not Witham. His dragon is a tank dinosaur.
Yeah, Whitman. I was gonna say. Wow, that really looks odd for a dragon.
But yeah, new Dragon Knight.
I'm all for new Dragon Knights.
We can't really see what his power is or his defense. It looks like 8 though, from what I'm seeing. But with 2 crit, Cannon Fire. If you have another Dragon Knight in the field, you may rest this card. And if you do, pay 1 gauge. If you do, deal 2 damage to your opponent. So yeah, if you can't just attack in order to do the 2 damage, just rest him and then pay a gauge in order to make sure you deal the 2 damage.
I don't feel like trying. I'm just gonna wing it.
If he does have 8 defense, then I say he's really good.
Oh yeah, he got defense going for him, sure. Otherwise, he's just going to be a one pump chump.
One pump chump. We have Master Skeleton, an undead dungeon world enemy. He's a size 3, power unknown, 3 crit, 5 defense. Pay 3 gauge, put the top card of your deck into his soul. When this card is destroyed, call a size, we don't know what size monster from your drop zone and pay its call cost. So he summons another dude when he dies.
Well, that really doesn't matter what he rings out. That's pretty good, period.
Yep, and he has Soul Guard.
Especially because it's dungeon enemies. They just do things for existing.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And then we have Axia's skill, everyone's favorite gay dragon.
Hey, it's a... Yeah.
He's a size 1, he's a 2/2/2. Pay 1 gauge. When this card enters the field, you may choose either yourself or your opponent and deal 1 damage to that player. So you can hit yourself. Yeah, he's very...
It reminds me of that one spell that Magic World already has, where it's... Oh, Transflare. Where you just play the card and you just deal a damage to the opponent. I mean, if they get more stuff that does burn, maybe that's okay. But as it stands now, it's... What are you really doing? You're paying a gauge to do 1 damage.
Some people said it'd be funny to team him up with Gotcha and Magical Drum.
Well, I guess that's an option.
Because it's like, I'm at 6, bring myself down to 5 and hit you.
Yeah, but when Elliot, in my experience, when it came to trying out stuff in this game, 1-for-1 damage is usually not getting you anywhere very fast when you could just use that space to do anything else.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they'll get Magus Dragons or whatever they're called, Wizard Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get more stuff, and that 1 damage can be cumulative with other stuff. He's a size 1 after all.
Yep.
So there's potential. Just right now,
We have Thunderblade Drago Break. It's an item for Dragon World. It's 5 power, 2 crit, pay 2 gauge. If a monster with Thunder Knights in its card name is on your field, that card gets +1 crit.
Mm-hmm.
So all of your guys get +1 crit. That's pretty cool.
Always fun.
We have another either a wizard or some sort of monster for Magic World. A lot of people think it's going to be a wizard.
Show me if it's...
Mana Buster Makurukim.
That sounds awesome.
Let me see if I can get his picture to load.
Buster's ready, go!
Oh yeah, this is why they think he looks like a wizard.
Yeah, I could see why he looks like a wizard, you know, with the, staff and whatnot.
And the mustache. Goatee. But yeah, let's see what he does. He is a size 1, 2/1/3. When this card enters the field, put the top card of your deck into the gauge, and your opponent puts the top 2 cards of her deck into the gauge. This card cannot be returned to the hand. So give your opponent 2 gauge.
Read that again.
Yeah. When this card enters the field, put the top card of your deck into your gauge, and your opponent puts the top 2 cards of his or her deck into their gauge. This card cannot be returned from hand to field.
Well, I like the idea of getting yourself gauge, but giving your opponent more gauge just sounds dangerous. On the other hand, if they might be trying to incorporate milling, sort of, into the game. Which means that if we have other cards that do things like this, it'll just be a game of try to make your opponent deck out. Which actually I don't think I've actually seen happen in this game yet, at least not in our area.
And I believe that is it.
A lot of things happened in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. So much stuff.
I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with that booster set. How many cards are we not knowing yet?
I honestly don't know. The wiki has not updated to show how many slots have been filled or how many cards are left.
Well, I heard somewhere there's only a few cards missing.
Yeah, I heard somewhere, this is just rumor, I heard 3. I heard there was only 3 cards left.
I wouldn't be able to tell because I wasn't counting how many cards we went over versus how many cards we already knew.
Yeah, but so far I'm excited for almost everything. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm really liking the fact that Dungeon World's really getting its self shown off in here. I feel a lot better than Katana World did.
Yeah.
Like, I like Katana World, but it feels a lot more limiting with the one set that we got before, extra booster one things, and even that's not technically a whole lot. Like, this just feels like you could just make like any kind of deck you want. No matter which one you choose, whether you choose adventurers or enemies, it feels like you have an option of what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm probably going to be running adventurers.
Well, you don't either way. We're going to get an adventurer trial deck because we got to get the flag.
Yep. So, yeah, I will probably be running adventurers because I know you want to run monsters.
I am very interested in the enemies.
Yeah, and while I think the enemies are cool, I actually really like how the adventures look. They're kind of cute. I know that a lot of people are against the whole, it's the characters from the show is
but they're not all characters from the show.
Exactly!
So it doesn't even matter. That argument is automatically null and void because we got those 3 other guys. Well, it might be 2, but we saw that one guy on the Rolling Stone, so assuming 3 is going to happen.
Yeah, like, it seems really fun. I really like Dungeon World. A lot of the other card support for the other clans that got revealed seems really cool.
It seems everyone is getting a fair assessment of stuff here. Even Dragon World, even though I honestly don't think they deserve it, are still getting stuff. But they're getting stuff in the way that I can accept.
New stuff for a different subsection.
They're getting a subclan, an archetype that's getting support.
The only thing
as opposed to generic support, which is what certain people don't seem to understand, is a problem. When you give generic support to a overloaded in terms of support world or clan or whatever, it doesn't matter whether or not it helps them or not. The point is, it could have been stuff that could have gone to other worlds. Yep. It could have been stuff that could have been used for anything other than them, because they did not need it.
Right now, the only thing that I'm kind of concerned about is we have heard no Ancient World news. And I know for a lot of people that's and even for me that's kind of since the only deck I was really building, I was building on a whim.
I like the concept of Ancient World now that we've finally seen like what they're trying to do, but in the end, I would be surprised if Bushiroad did to them what they did to Danger World. For some reason, they have a problem with worlds that don't have a lot of spell capabilities.
Yeah.
And like I know Danger World does have spells, unlike Danger World, but it's really geared towards more of the monster.
They don't like the super powerful worlds, or the worlds that claim they're super powerful.
Well, the super aggressive ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm still, obviously Dragon World is probably the best one. It has like the just best standalone cards, most notably the counter cards.
Yep.
And the Magic World just has straight up best spells.
And Dungeon World is just crazy.
No, Dungeon World is probably going to outdo them both, honestly. These are really good spells and monsters.
So far, I can say it probably has like some of the best items.
It definitely has the best. Ellie and I were predicting that, actually, that it was going to be that way. And it seems so. Their items are really good.
Their items are ridiculous. Once per turn Draco energy. And then,
you're gonna die? I don't think you're gonna die now.
Let's see if I actually die. Heal trigger.
I'd oversay that in Buddyfight presence.
I won't.
And, shoot. Those things are only coming out in, a couple weeks now?
Let's see, I can look at the date right now.
Because July 4th.
Yeah, July 4th. And it is currently the 12th that we are recording this, so it is... this week's almost over, so I'm going to just count next week.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Just calm down.
2 weeks.
So, people be prepared for that. It's going to be a epic journey.
I get it!
And, well, Buddyfight's apparently still taking a break this week, so we won't be doing that. Vanguard might be having a filler episode, so that probably won't be recorded. And because of those sort of things, there might be a vacation week where we might not have as much video output.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll try to do what we can to get things out. But getting distracted because there's a new
E3.
Yeah, it's gonna be not likely that other stuff will come out this week because of that. Especially because in about 30 seconds they're going to be showing off the new franchise that Nintendo's going to be starting off.
Steam.
Codename Steam.
Alright, so I think that's it.
Yes.
Alright. Good night, everybody.